What is America's Chernobyl? Today's Midnight Question takes us to the eerie world of nuclear power with the story of 3 Mile Island. Hello, curious minds. When most people hear about nuclear disasters, they immediately think of Chernobyl, the catastrophic meltdown in the Soviet Union in 1986. But the United States had its own nuclear scare in the late 70s at 3 Mile Island, a power plant that almost triggered America's version of Chernobyl. So, what exactly happened at 3 Mile Island, and how did it shape the future of nuclear power in the US and even its present? Let's start with the basics. 3 Mile Island is a nuclear power station located on, well, you guessed it, 3 Mile Island, in the Susquehanna River in Pennsylvania. The power plant had two nuclear reactors, Unit 1 and Unit 2, both designated to generate electricity by harnessing nuclear energy. On March 28, 1979, something went very wrong in Unit 2. A series of mechanical failures and human errors led to a partial meltdown inside the reactor core. What's a meltdown, you ask? It's when the nuclear fuel inside the reactor overheats to dangerous levels, causing the fuel rods to partially melt. In Unit 2's case, things got dicey when a cooling system malfunction occurred. The cooling system is supposed to regulate the reactor's temperature, keeping it from overheating. Without enough coolant, temperature started to spike. To make matters worse, the control room operators misinterpreted the situation and shut off the emergency water system that could have prevented the meltdown. Imagine panicking while trying to figure out which button to press as alarms are going off. That's basically what happened. In the end, about half of the reactor core melted down, making it the most serious nuclear accident in US history. You might be wondering, why don't we hear about 3 Mile Island as much as Chernobyl? Well, it's because the damage was nowhere near as catastrophic. At Chernobyl, the entire reactor exploded, spewing radioactive material across Europe. The Soviet Union kept the crisis a secret for days, worsening the fallout. At 3 Mile Island, the containment building did its job. While some radioactive gas was released, it was minimal compared to Chernobyl. No one died as a direct result of the incident, though it understandably freaked out a lot of people. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission, or NRC, declared that the radiation released during the accident didn't pose a significant health risk to the public. However, the psychological and social effects were huge. Public confidence in nuclear power plummeted, and it became a turning point in how America viewed nuclear energy. After the accident, Unit 2 was permanently shut down. The damage was so severe that it was deemed inoperable. The cleanup process took more than 14 years and cost around $1 billion. While the reactor no longer operates, its legacy continues as a cautionary tale in the nuclear energy industry. Surprisingly, Unit 1 wasn't directly affected by the meltdown and resumed operations in 1985 after a series of safety upgrades. It continued generating electricity until it was finally shut down in 2019, mainly due to economic reasons. Maintaining an aging nuclear power plant is expensive, and keeping energy sources like natural gas and renewables made it unprofitable. Here's where things get interesting. 3 Mile Island is coming back. In 2028, Unit 1 is set to reopen under the new name Crane Clean Energy Center, following a $3 billion redevelopment plan. Its owner, Constellation Energy, has signed a long-term agreement with Microsoft to supply carbon-free electricity for its data centers. The plant will generate around 835 megawatts, enough to power 800,000 homes, making a significant step towards cleaner energy. This surprising revival is driven by growing demand for sustainable energy to power technologies like cloud computing and artificial intelligence. Nuclear energy, despite its controversial past, is gaining renewed interest as a reliable and carbon-free power source. So, to answer the question, is 3 Mile Island America's Chernobyl? In some ways, yes. It was the closest the US came to a catastrophic nuclear disaster. But thanks to quick action and some fortunate containment, the damage was far less severe. And now, against all odds, 3 Mile Island might just become a symbol of the future of clean energy. That's all for today's episode of Midnight Question. Have more questions keeping you up at night? Drop them in the comments, and who knows, we might explore them in the next episode. I'm Mari, and this is Midnight Question.